Hey, thanks for calling the Beards and Sundries Market. You've reached Jay. Leave a message after the tone.
Hello, this is Derek from the Indianapolis branch of The Corporate Sponsor. After listening to last week's episode, I regret to inform you that the corporate sponsor has made the difficult decision to discontinue the partnership with the Beards and Sundries Market. We received 3 entire letters from our concerned customers regarding the content of last week's podcast. Apparently, the content included excessive references to sucking, blowing, going down to the cellar, whatever that means, balls, and the recommendation of meteorological violence against the My Pillow guy and the American treasure that is James Corden. One of our company's values is that all men are created equal when those men look and act exactly like our founders. I'm sorry, beardos, but your content does not align with these values. I hope this decision does not discourage you from leveraging our products in the future. By the way, if you happen to have any of those Beards and Sundries short shorts available, my information is available on the Facebook. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.
And welcome back.
Hello.
Hello!
Welcome back to Season 2, Episode 18 of Beards and Sundries.
We're legal!
We're legal! We can die for our country, but we can't drink alcohol yet.
I'm gonna go buy a gun!
That's right, guys. It's time for another lunch break here at Beards and Sundries, the shop where 3 gay men with beards do inventory on a new sundry in each episode.
My name is Jay, and ¿Dónde está el baño?
Ooh, I do feel bonita.
Necesito poop.
Thanks, Duolinga.
And I'm Anthony, that stale basket of chips that's been sitting under the warmer for just a little too long.
And I'm Joe, that bowl of soggy shredded iceberg lettuce meant to bring a little healthy color to Taco Tuesday. And today's sundry item is Cinco de Mayo, kind of. That's right, Beardos, Cinco de Mayo was a few days ago, but rather than a history lesson on this symbolic holiday, we thought it would be fun to make fun of white people, the sad bastardization of Cinco de Mayo, and the bland, boring cuisine brought to us by chain restaurants. Today, we are going to chat about the things that make white people go absolutely nuts over this holiday, how chain restaurants skip farm to table in favor of freezer to microwave, and some things that white people do that drive the 3 of us white people insane. Later on, we have our very first Beardo submitted something to check out, and Anthony has homebrewed our game this week.
Should we talk about that voicemail real quick?
Ooh, yeah, let's talk about the voicemail.
More violence against the My Pillow guy.
Yes, I will always commit meteorological violence against anyone I don't like, so watch out. Also, I want you guys to know that Derek emailed me after he left the voicemail and said that if we didn't like his voice, to use the script that he wrote in the email, and I was like, what on earth? We love this. Like, why would I do that? That's so sweet.
That's what the voicemail is for.
Yeah, I'm like, we want to hear from you. I enjoyed that so much.
Beardos, if you are out there and you're concerned about leaving a voicemail because you are worried about what your voice is going to sound like,
I've got news for you, sweetie.
You hear mine every week.
we're in Season 2, Episode 18, and I'm still concerned about that.
Yeah.
Every week I make TikToks and I'm like, ew, I hate my voice. But here we are.
Speaking of our voices, I also want to say that I re-listened to the most recent episode, the Twister episode, and I just finished listening to it a couple days ago, and I forgot how cringy the corporate sponsor commercial is. It made me physically ill. I listened to it 3 times in a row.
I meant to, before we aired that episode, I meant to make a little caveat in front of the YouTube version to let you guys know that Joe's video broke. It just didn't work the entire time we were recording, and we didn't know till afterwards because he was still showing on camera for us. But when I got to the actual bulk data, it was just blue screen.
Yeah.
So for our YouTube watchers, if you were confused last week, now you know.
But that's okay because now we are on fancy new cameras and hopefully this will all be a thing of the past.
I hope so too. I don't think we'll have to deal with that same issue anymore, although Joe's already had his first technical issue, and I'm just starting to wonder if it's him.
Oh my
It's
fucking
just
God.
me.
Don't jinx us.
And there's
It's
my
just
glasses
Joe.
that I forgot to put on too.
Just Joe.
But in the meantime, can I find the free chips and salsa in the sundries aisle, Joe?
Free? No. Only the ones that Jay knocked over with his giant ass.
Thank you.
What aisle's the Bota-Rita in?
It's the other side of the aisle.
4. Duh. Except we're always out because
Right next to the On the Border brand tortilla chips.
around Cinco de Mayo, I'm just like, oh, I need this.
And the cost-effective Beards and Sundries brand tortilla chips.
Could you imagine just turning around the aisle and I'm just like holding the Bota-Rita?
Yes, 5 pallets worth.
We're filming this the day before Cinco de Mayo, and a lot of me feels like, because I'm going to be editing this tomorrow night, I kind of want to go get stuff to make margaritas.
I just picture Jay walking around with, you know that cart that they have the oxygen tanks in, but it's just a tank of Bota-Rita, and he's got the straw, instead of going to his nose, it's going into his mouth instead, because it's like curved over his ears, and he's just drinking wine and dragging it around.
He's having a revelation right now.
I just thought of a Halloween costume where I just literally have a large tank with a hose, and I'm an old person, and I'm just walking around, and I'm like a bitchy old person, but I'm drinking wine.
You've already got a large tank and a
Yeah.
hoe, so you're halfway there.
So basically, I'm designing the rest of my life with that one costume. Where I have an oxygen tank in my car and a hose on my mouth. Cop pulls me over and I'm like, no, it's definitely oxygen. It is red and kind of semi-white oxygen.
Anyways, Joe, ¿cómo se dice sundries en español?
If you guys are new to the show and you're wondering just what the hell a sundry is, the term comes from an old English word meaning odds and ends. Today it's used mainly in retail to group together basically items that don't really have a group of their own. So, as 3 very self-aware white gay men with beards, we are using the term to group together the wide range of topics that we cover.
Muy bueno.
Mexico!
For all you speakers out there, the word puta means princess. Use it at work and see how it goes.
My Spanish slang is not
Oh
very good,
my
but I
God.
do know a couple of things. I know gordito y barbón.
Barbon.
¿Qué más quieres?
Pepino. That means cucumber.
Now I say listo, vamos, and vámonos quite a bit.
Vervudo, that's a good one. That's slang for big penis.
I feel like I used to know more sign language than anything, and now I don't even know that. And I don't know how I know stuff.
I need to take an ASL class.
There was one time that I worked at Home Depot way back in the day, and someone deaf came through line, and they signed to me.
Back when he was JD.
Yeah, back before my change. And they signed to me, and I was like, oh. And then so I like did the sign for thank you. And then as they were leaving, and
Wasn't
then
it-
after they left, yes, it was. But I had this panic attack going, wait, did I say thank you or F you? And so I started like doubting
They're pretty close.
all.
You were like, wait,
I
come back.
know. they like look at me and
That's what I meant.
they're like, thank you. And I'm just like, ah. So yeah, then I started having panic attacks.
Well, then that was when your panic attack started. So now you know.
And that is where anxiety started, was at Home Depot as a cashier in the garden center.
Oh God, the garden center? They made you work in the garden center as a cashier?
I actually really liked it because you were separated out there. You were really separated out there. And like if nobody was around.
So they kept you in a corner.
Yeah. Oh, so I had a whole booth that was closed in with a heater.
Oh, okay.
So in the wintertime, like you had a heater. In the spring and summer, it was hot as balls. But yeah, I actually
They
really
kept
kind
the
of
heater
liked it.
going on purpose.
Yeah, they're like, hate this place, hate it. And I'm like, I'm already there. But it was weird how much they put you out there at wintertime when they were selling Christmas trees.
That is kind of weird. I don't think of going to Home Depot or Lowe's for a Christmas tree.
Listen, I read a lot of magazines.
Well, we had a fake one for years and years.
Well, they also sell real ones, which it's kind of neat.
But we're not here to talk about the bastardization of Yule. into Christmas.
Of
We're
Navidad.
here to talk about the bastardization of a lot of things, but let's start with Cinco de Mayo.
White people taco night.
Talking about white people tacos.
Hey guys, it's Taco Tuesday. I threw some ground beef in the skillet and sprinkled some... What's that brand of taco seasoning?
We have a giant fucking thing of it in our cabinet.
Is it McCormick's?
I was gonna say it's McCormick's.
Oh, Old El Paso.
Old El Paso. See, and I always get the big old tub of Taco Bell, and I'm like... So, hello, I bastardize Mexican food all the time in my house.
It's not limited to only white people, but white people love it the most.
Ortega has their own brand of taco seasoning too, of course.
So we actually, Cinco de Mayo was something that I remember distinctly being celebrated more when I was growing up. You'd go to school on Cinco de Mayo and we'd have Crispitos.
Oh, yeah.
Frito pie. Mm.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Taco salad.
The Crispitos were the best because they were like basically these real like bastardized flautas that were ground beef. Like unseasoned ground beef wrapped in this weird like pseudo tortilla topped in canned cheese. Perfection.
The unseasoned ground beef.
I'm pretty sure we did crappy burritos, but in high school and grade school, I loved them because I was trash.
We did taco salad.
To be fair, my mom, anytime she made Mexican food, it was the probably whitest Mexican food you could ever make. I mean, the ground beef had maybe like a little shake of taco seasoning in it. And I'm like, no, you got to drown it.
We didn't even use taco seasoning, Jay, at home. My mom would make nachos with just ground beef. Like she'd just make the ground beef.
So mom did that a lot. A lot. There was no seasoning if there was any.
That was one saving grace. My mom usually did know how to use some seasoning and everything. So we never did like plain ground beef unless it was like she was going to zhuzh it up in some hamburger helper or something later. But no, I remember her using seasonings when we were growing up.
Ours was seasoned. I mean, salt and pepper ground beef tacos.
I would say, and then in more recent years, like after college, I gained a really big appreciation for sour cream. And I just love piling that shit on. Like I'm so happy that Daisy invented that squeeze pouch bag of sour cream. Because then you just have your taco or your burrito or your quesarito or your quesadilla. And then you just take the squeeze bottle and just and load it on there with each bite and just shove it in your face hole. And oh my God, it's so good.
Do you want to know how I've gotten even more white?
Yes.
I use unflavored Greek yogurt now as sour cream.
You're one of those.
No. Boo.
No, I love sour cream too much.
You don't notice the difference, and...
Yes, I do. I notice the difference.
Okay, well, I don't, because I'm just like, this is the same thing if I keep telling myself that it's accurate. I'm straight.
You're as straight as a slinky.
Oh, so... I mean, now that I'm getting into my adulthood, I don't really celebrate Cinco de Mayo, but I do soft celebrate it with like
a margarita.
Margaritas. That's usually my go-to.
And that's if I go out with anyone. For example, tomorrow, we're recording the day before actual Cinco de Mayo, and I'm pretty confident I'm not going out because the next day I'm leaving for a flight bright and early, so I'm just probably going to stay at home unless my boyfriend and I decide that we do want to go have a drink.
There it is. I was like, Jay, that's never stopped you before.
But there's always crowds, and at things like this, I hate going to that crowd.
Because they're trying to be belligerent.
What will likely happen is I will go get a good bottle of tequila, silver, because that's who I am as a person, and buy an ass ton of limes, and get myself some triple sec and some agave nectar, and just make margaritas at home. I love a fresh margarita.
Oh, that's a good question. How do you guys make your margaritas?
I'll go one more level of white. on the belt here, and I love a good Corona-Rita. You know what I'm talking about, where they have the little
Oh my god,
little
yes.
Corona bottle upside down in it. Oh my god, it's so good because you can just slowly add it as you drink the margarita, and then it's so good.
There's a place in Oklahoma City that I love to get those, but it's like a sangria swirl with a Corona in it, and I mean, I will just like go bonkers for it. It's so fucking good.
At Dave and Buster's for a little while, they might still have it, but they had a Prosecco Rita where it was kind of like a take on a margarita, and then it was a little bottle of Prosecco, and I was like, is this drink just called the White Soccer Mom? Because that was the energy it gave off, and it was really delicious.
So talking about margaritas, how do you guys make yours at home?
I am a little bit of a margarita snob, and I will use tequila, triple sec, agave nectar, lime juice. That's it. That's a margarita. And the lime juice has to be fresh. So I will buy a whole bunch of limes and I will juice them all. And it's about half tequila by the time it's about half alcohol by the time it's done, but you won't taste it.
I grow my own prickly pear outside on a vine.
Shut the fuck up. That sounds like something I would do.
But if you can't grow your own prickly pears, then fake flavor will do.
The store-bought is fine.
You can use Jay's leftover.
So I'm trash here, but I found this recipe on accident.
What?
And I love it. I know, so shocking. I literally buy Simply Limeade, and then I dice up strawberries and leave it in there, and then I dice up jalapenos and leave it in there. And so if you let it sit overnight, it makes a spicy strawberry, and then I mix it with ice with tequila and a smidge of triple sec, and it makes a perfect spicy margarita for me.
I will say, Beardos, if you're not going to be a purist like me, that's the acceptable way to do it. I love using Simply Limeade.
Mm-hmm.
For not a person who orders a lot of margaritas, I go bonkers for that recipe. I crave it almost like alcoholism.
Side tangent about the Simply Limeade, Jay, you should try Simply Limeade mixed with Pinnacle whipped flavor vodka. It tastes just like key lime pie.
Oh, God, that sounds so good.
You can even taste the graham cracker crust. I don't know how they did it, but just mix them together, it's fantastic.
It's a sensory experience, Joseph.
The other day, I did the first that I've done in a while, and I went to a chain Mexican restaurant, and it's just as awful as I remember.
Which one?
Ted's, actually. Ted's Escondido.
Oof.
Everyone talks it up like crazy, and I never understood it. And so
everyone hypes it up big.
I just didn't go to it for years. And then I happened to be meeting, it was a busy day with friends, and we were trying to find restaurants close to some place. And so we went there, and I'm just like, this is still terrible. It's just another form of on the border. Or
well, everyone's like, oh, you get free tortillas and the queso's free, and I'm like, okay, so the tortillas taste like a napkin, and then you dip it in the free queso, and I'm like, damn, can you guys hold off on the water, because it's literally the wateriest queso I've ever had in my life.
I swear to God, they get a block of melt and dip, and then they just melt it in like 2 gallons of water, and that's
yeah, that's right. It was watery queso. I do remember that, because it basically ran off my chip, and I'm like, hey, from the table.
They're like, it's free, and I'm like, yeah, it tastes like it. It's free.
Yeah, it tastes free.
It tastes free.
It's free of flavor.
I don't understand why people like going to Ted's. I used to like it. And even now, like looking back, I'm like, why did I enjoy that? It wasn't good.
No, it's not. Now, on the flip side of that, Los Cabos, I think is pretty good.
Yeah, I will give Los Cabos some higher ratings for being a chain restaurant. Like, it's pretty good when we go.
And their menu is very large, which that can usually spell disaster for a place. I'm not looking at you, Cheesecake Factory, but their menu is big, and I don't know, we've only been a few times, and I've never really had a bad experience there. I like it a lot.
No, Los Cabos is fine. It's like, if you have to go to a chain Mexican restaurant, I'm not going to have a bad time.
I mean, if I think of chain Mexican restaurant, I usually land on the border, and it's normally because I can always find one margarita that's good. They have chips that I don't mind, because I actually buy their bag of chips at home, because I just enjoy the texture of them. And then, but Besides that, I kind of like their flautas.
I'm such an enchilada slut.
Yes, you are.
You know, I love enchiladas.
I love them too. They're so good. We all spent a lot of time in Stillwater. Did you guys ever share a fishbowl at Fuzzy's?
Yes. I think I was still working at Red Lobster, so of course I went with some coworkers.
I have shared a fishbowl, but just not in Stillwater. It was in Oklahoma City because we have them everywhere.
Oh, yeah, you do. There are a bunch down there.
So that was the classy, trashy thing to do. It was go to Fuzzy's Tacos in Stillwater, and then you get the fishbowl. And the fishbowl, if you guys don't know, if you don't have a Fuzzy's near you, is a literal plastic fishbowl they fill up with margarita, and you're required to purchase it with 3 other people to share. This is pre-COVID. We didn't know. We didn't know.
Oh, we didn't know.
Oh, we knew. We just didn't have COVID. The alcohol killed the germs.
The things we told ourselves.
I do want to talk about some places in Stillwater, but I do want to bring it back to chains here for a minute because our friend John is probably listening, and we would be doing him dirty if we didn't talk about Chewy's.
Oh, I love Chewy's. And I know it's a chain, but I love Chewy's.
Chewy's is really good.
Chewy's isn't bad. I did like Chewy's.
For a chain, they get it done. Okay, so back to Stillwater. Weren't there the two... There's El Tapatio, and then there was El Vaquero, right?
Yes, so...
There's 2 El Tapatillos, because they were both related.
There was 2 El Taps, and they were the same owner.
Man, that place was solid.
And so you either could go to El Tap or El Vaquero. El Vaquero got raided by ICE during the Trump administration.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
El Tapatio closed one of their locations, and they basically use it as sort of like an office now, I guess. I think it's just for them and their friends and family to go get drunk and eat their own food.
The one over by the high school?
A+. Yeah, that's the one.
Okay, good, because the other one was the better one. The one by the creek.
Oh, the other one's way better.
Because they had the outside area, and it was bigger.
Because that used to be a different Mexican restaurant.
Oh.
And it was another Mexican restaurant before that, I think, because all of those benches and the mural were all already there when they moved into that building.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I really like El Tap.
It's a solid option.
Sorry. While you guys are talking about this, I'm busy looking up Casa Bonita in Denver because...
It's set to open this month, isn't it?
It is, and I'm trying to see if they were going to be open while I was there, but there's no grand opening date yet. It says May 2023.
I think it's 2 weeks after you're going to be there.
So, fun fact, I found this out whenever I was getting prepared for the game for this week's episode. Casa Bonita was founded in Oklahoma City.
No way.
Really?
Yeah, and then it expanded to Tulsa.
It's not a Denver thing?
No, they expanded to Denver, and of course it's coming back because Matt Stone and Trey Parker like it, but it was originally founded in Oklahoma City. That was the first one.
Yeah, it was so funny that it was bought out by the creators of South Park in Denver.
Was it just the 3? OKC, Tulsa, and Denver? That's so random.
I didn't do much more research than that because it didn't turn out to be pertinent to the game, so...
The owner was Jay in a past life. We're going to Denver, boys! Step 1, OKC. Step 2, Tulsa. Step 3, Denver.
Suck a dick.
That's step 8.
That's step 1.
Oh, I'm tired by step 6.
No, I suck the dick first. That's because I get tired by step 6.
Sir, we just handed you a menu, and you're like,
So did either of you ever go to Casa Bonita?
No.
Nope. Never heard of it until South Park.
Oh my God, you guys are missing the McFuck out. It was an experience.
I literally thought it was fake. I thought it was a fake restaurant for the show.
I thought it was too.
So the way Casa Bonita worked is you would go into the front door and it was a cafeteria style type line, and you would ask for stuff that you wanted first and they would give it to you on a plate, and you'd go to your table with your initial plate. You'd stop to pay before you went to your table, and you paid your one little fee. It's sort of buffet style because it's all you can eat. And then we would go sit down at our table. You had your little Mexican flag, and if you wanted something, you put it up, and they'd come to your table, and you'd tell them what you wanted.
6 margaritas, please.
And it was designed to be like a little cave, and there was a little waterfall.
Weren't there cliff divers?
Not at the one in Tulsa when I went. I don't think it was equipped for that.
It doesn't look big enough. Like, it just looks like a regular-sized restaurant.
It was bigger on the inside than you think, but I also could be remembering it from a very young child's perspective.
It's true. I've gone to things before that, as a child, I thought was... well, for example, I went to my grandma's 95th birthday a couple weeks ago, and I was in the community center, and I was like, I remember thinking this place was huge when I was a kid, and it's tiny as shit.
I'm just loving the idea of, like, 8-year-old Anthony, just this tiny little ginger boy, just hurting himself, just shoveling cheese enchiladas one after the other.
And then diving off the cliff.
And then your mom still eating her little shrimps with a fork and knife like she always does.
Nail on the head. Then you got the piece de resistance, which was the sopapillas.
Oh, I've heard about those.
Every time what I would do is they were really puffy, and so they were completely hollow on the inside. I'd poke a hole in it.
Tear them open.
And I'd take the honey and I'd squeeze it full of honey and just eat the shit out of that.
It's so funny how now when I go to Mexican restaurants, I'm like, no, I'll skip the sopapilla, which in my life never thought I'd say that. But all my doctors are like, you shouldn't get that, fat ass.
Literally, they say that.
It's like echoing in my ear. Every time I'm like, yes, I'll have a dessert. My cardiologist, like I feel him sit on my shoulder, and he's like, listen, it's been years now, and I just keep saying you're a fat fuck and you need to do something. And I'm like, oh, sorry, doctor. And then I'm like, I'll take the key lime pie.
What's that moment in The Simpsons where Homer's like he's thinking out loud, and the voice is echoing in his head like 4 times, and then he gets distracted by somebody, and then he turns back around and keeps saying the same thing in his head again.
Dental plan. Lisa needs braces.
That's it. Dental plan. Lisa needs braces.
What's annoying for me is when I think of the whole voices over the shoulder thing, my brain always then eventually flips to Uncle Frank on Home Alone going, look what you did, you little jerk.
God, what a horrible relative.
Oh man, they were terrible to Macaulay Culkin. I was like, why are you so shitty to this one child?
Worst family ever.
But then I remembered it's the 90s. Like, people were like that in the 90s. They treated a child poorly.
You had to bully your children.
They're like, we don't have therapy, so we just have this one child we use as a punching bag.
Yeah, you always had one child that was a nuisance, and you're just like, all right, that's the one that I'm going to shit on. Hello, I was that child in the 90s.
And then there's another small chain here in Tulsa called El Patron. They've got a couple locations. And man, when they first came to town, they're actually right down the street from us. They first opened, and we went right after they opened with one of your coworkers, Anthony. And I remember it being unremarkable, and I was just really not impressed. And then, like, a few months later, one of my managers at work was talking about it and hyping it up, and I was like, we went. It wasn't that great. He said, no. The owner from Dallas heard what was going on up here, and apparently there was some monkey business going on, and it wasn't very good, and it was not doing well. So the owner came up from Dallas and kicked some ass, and now it's fantastic. They have this free trio of dips they bring out at the beginning, and then their queso is really good, and there's this dish called the Camarones Veracruz that I get. It's like basically grilled shrimp with grilled sauteed vegetables. And then you get like the rice and the beans and the sour cream, the pico de guac. And it's only like $15.95. And I counted, and I think I counted like 16 shrimp on my plate. So there's definitely enough for leftovers for the next day. And the prices are so reasonable and everything is so fresh.
So in Tulsa, what would you say are like your top 2 favorite Mexican restaurants?
I'm going to go ahead and say that El Patron's up there for me.
It is, for sure.
Man, there's so many.
There's a lot of them. We've got a lot of them around here.
I really liked Habaneros down in Broken Arrow. Peppers is good too.
Peppers is a little whitewash version of
it
that
is.
Because you used to be able to go on Wednesdays and get the dollar margaritas.
What about Ricardo's, Anthony? You said it's gone downhill for sure from COVID?
So we used to have one called El Guapo that was downtown that I really liked.
Oh yeah, that was a shame.
We did our rehearsal dinner there, and it very sadly closed because it got purchased by the McNelly's group.
Yeah, sounds right.
I loved El Guapo though. Their bowls were so good. They had really good fish tacos too.
There's so many Mexican restaurants in Oklahoma City, and I'm confident I'm missing out on several delicious ones because honestly, I feel like the little hole in the wall ones are going to be substantially better than anything else I'm going to go
Absolutely.
Oh, for sure.
But there is one downtown. Well, it's technically in the Midtown area, which is connected to downtown, and in Oklahoma City, and it's called Barrios. And I love Barrios. They are, I'll say technically a chain, but the restaurant itself is not. What it is Barrios is owned by a small local chain company called Good Egg. And Good Egg has several delicious restaurants I love, like Cheever's and Red Prime Steakhouse and The Drake, which is seafood, and Tucker's Onion Burgers and Mexican Radio, which I don't go crazy for their food.
I've heard about Tucker's. I've heard Tucker's is good.
Tucker's is good. It's still not my top burger, but it's still a good burger. But this place also has Iron Star, which is kind of a modern take on barbecue, and it's delicious. But Barrios is cute because it's like you're served this very warm roasted tomato salsa that's delicious. All of their food tastes quite fresh, and they have this enclosed patio because the building is sunk down from the buildings around it, so the entire patio is like a retainer wall with tents and fans and lights, and it's just a really cute area. You forget you're in a downtown of a city. But their drinks also delicious. So Barrios is one of my favorites. And then the other Mexican restaurant that I don't want to admit, but I like, is called Mama Rojas, and it's right off of Lake Hefner in Oklahoma City. It's one of the many restaurants that line the border of the lake, and so you get a beautiful sunset view.
Near Louis?
Yes. It's delicious.
I've not been disappointed, and I can't tell you if it's because I like looking at Lake Hefner while I eat, but that's probably part of it.
It's another spot that kind of takes you out of Oklahoma City, and you're just like, oh, this feels really neat because you are looking out at a very large lake at a beautiful sunset, and you're not seeing anything else around. So while you know it's not beachside, it's starting to feel kind of like that, and I really appreciate that.
And then there's another place here called El Rio Verde, which I personally haven't been to, but we have a couple of friends that swear by that place. They go all the time. And I'm looking at their Facebook page right now. I just want to talk about it real quick because their last post was from October 4th, 2022. And it says, every day is taco day at El Rio Verde. What's in your taco? # National Taco Day. And the first comment is from a woman named Rose Hurd. And her comment says, even when you tossed the menu at me, I said that I knew what I wanted to order. You turned your back at me. That's it. That's all her comment says.
Is her name Karen?
It should be.
You didn't do what I wanted you to at the moment I wanted you to do it.
Yikes.
So it's kind of funny. Right around the corner from my house is this place called Fat Daddy's Pizza. And it's this little Hispanic family. And they make pizzas and authentic tacos and something else that I've yet to order and try. And honestly, delicious. You walk in and you're like, what have I walked into? Because it's just an old, worn down strip mall that's got 4 businesses in it that are still alive. But this place, delicious.
It's always the best kind.
I had their chicken Alfredo pizza the other day. Amazing.
We are on our way from DC to upstate New York to stay at a friend's lake house. And we stopped in it was somewhere in Pennsylvania. What was it?
It was Erie.
Yeah. So we stopped in Erie, Pennsylvania, and we went to this. It was like a kebab restaurant would be.
Girl, when I say it was a hole in the wall, I think there were holes in the wall.
And it was some of the best fucking food I've had in my life.
Yeah, it was good.
Oh my gosh. Speaking of, in downtown Oklahoma City, there's a place called Lazy Donkey. And it is just kind of this cute little Mexican restaurant. And my favorite part about it is I've had some off moments there where the meal hasn't been that great, but then I've had other times where it's fantastic. So I don't know. I feel like they have good and bad days. But my favorite part is they have signs that say best queso in town, best margaritas in town. I'm like, these people know how to market to white people.
Yep.
Because it's literally every time I go in there, especially around lunchtime, it is all business people like, look how authentic I am. And I'm like,
That is really how white people operate, though, is they want to feel authentic, but they don't want to get outside of their comfort zones. And by they, I mean we.
Right. Pepper. Ugh, that's too hot.
I did just go to an ice cream store the other day it's called Capitol Hill, and it's very, very Hispanic kind of in that area. And my boyfriend and I went. I do not for the life of me remember the name of it. But I remember going in and the entire menu was in Spanish, and I definitely was the white boy who was not confident in what he was in there, because like my boyfriend's just speaking fluent Spanish to them, ordering stuff, and I'm like, I'll take the lime popsicle. It looks delicious.
Did it have like a lime slice in it? Because I think it's the same kind of chain of places that I think you're talking about.
It's not a lime slice, but it's like, I think they shredded lime in it, but it was delicious. And I'm pretty positive it was a local place. The other thing I got was like this cream melon drink, and it was amazing.
I do a lot better with written Spanish.
If it's spoken slowly, I can usually pick up on enough words that I can usually kind of understand what's being conveyed. It just depends. And I know enough descriptive words that usually at work I can kind of stumble my way through an interaction.
Well, I really thought we would talk a little bit more about like more chain restaurants that are bastardized white, but like we're 50 minutes in.
We got distracted, but I actually really liked everything we talked about.
Yeah, no, it's been good. Do you guys think it's time for a commercial break?
Probably.
Yeah.
And now, for a word from our sponsor, Bastardo Blanco. Do you love Taco Tuesday? How about margaritas made with store-bought sour mix? Are you unable to pronounce the word quesadilla properly? Well then Bastardo Blanco is the place for you. We have tortillas, meat, and cheese in over 20 varieties. Feeling spicy? Try our salsa that we sat next to a jalapeno for 30 minutes. Need to cool off? Our sour cream is the coldest in town. Our queso is used by Olympic athletes to hydrate themselves. It's that watery. So come down to Bastardo Blanco, where the ground beef is never seasoned and the chips are always stale.
Hey guys, make sure you follow and subscribe to our podcast so you can receive a notification every Sunday when a new episode drops.
You know, I just love eating at Bastardo Blanco. When I go, I get the queso.
Oh, their water is so cheesy.
The cheesiest. I really like it because their salsa isn't too spicy.
And their pico de gallo doesn't have any onion.
And they avoid garlic, which is a little too hot for me.
I really appreciate their carb-friendly tortillas. They are delicioso.
Yum, 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 yum.
Muy delicioso.
Muy delicioso. Yum, yum. I like to spread butter on it. I can't believe it's not butter.
And you know they're authentic because they have the Mexicano flag enchiladas. And I believe actually they pronounce it Mexicano.
Ooh, that's fancy.
Yeah, that's how they pronounce it in Mexico.
And when I'm leaving, they say Buenas noches. And I feel authentic.
And their fresh, smashed guacamole doesn't have any jalapenos in them. They call me a handsome prince or puto gringo.
They keep calling me Gringo Gordito, and I don't know what that means.
I just always love finishing off my arroz con polo.
Every time I walk in, I feel very honored because they're always like, Blanco, Blanco, Blanco. And I'm like, yes, yes, yes.
Wow, they always greet me with gringo, gringo, gringo. And I don't know what that means, but I think it means great.
I think it means great.
I think they say they're loving me. They love me, and that's why I go there. And I'm like, muy margaritas.
Especiale.
Give me the Jose Cuervo.
They were like, do you want a dose of quiz? And I was like, no, I'm not a horse rider. What are you talking about?
And then whenever I order margarita, I'm like, I don't want house tequila. I want one step above it because, you know, I'm kind of a big deal. I have a podcast.
Too real.
Do we have something to check out today?
I've heard that we had a beardo who submitted something to check out.
Oh my God. Guys, we do have something to check out this week, and it is by our friend, John.
Hello, this is John, and this isn't an HR-related call. I'm happy to tell you that you're okay. Patrick is fine. I just woke up from my man nap, and I had a thought bubble full of love kernels. The map of love triangles proves our friendtopia, although you're my best friends, and I know I'm not yours, but your podcast needs a makey makeover. Oh, duh. The reason for this voicemail. I have something to check out this week. Jay is back on the podcast, Life's But a Song, to cover season 2 of Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. It wasn't a shit show because Jay was stuck in the bathroom after we recorded them. So check out his episodes, plural, this week on Life's But a Song, available wherever you're listening to this ping pong girl.
I cannot wait to listen to that. I love Crazy Ex-Girlfriend.
So, listeners, for you that didn't quite understand that podcast, those are all song titles that he used in reference to the show for just season 2 alone of the show Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, which is on Netflix. And it is a fantastic show, in my opinion, that every episode is broken down where each episode has a musical song, and it's a good show just about mental health in general. But so I was a guest episode or a guest host, a guest, whatever, for 2 episodes to talk specifically about season 2. So that was kind of fun.
You ruined everything, you stupid bitch.
That's season 1, Joe.
I know. Is season 2 the Let's Generalize About Men?
Is that season 2 or season 3? I'm trying to remember.
God, I love that song.
Let's generalize about men. That's a great song.
No, but what about gay men? Oh, no, they're fine.
Gay men are all really great.
Really great. Every single one.
They're never mean, just sassy.
Oh, completely. Adorable and fun.
So let's focus for now on straight men. Let's generalize about them.
That song is so good.
What a great show. So this season had this song that it was a shit show, which I loved that song. And then it actually had several good ones. So go listen to the episode. We talk about all of them. It's the podcast Life's But a Song Pod. John Riley's the host. He's been a guest on our show a couple times. And it's really just cute and fun. And if you like musicals at all, it's pretty enjoyable.
Yeah, you guys get a twofer this week. You get the But a Song Pod with Jay.
Twofer!
And you get Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. So good on you.
Wow. Buy one, get one.
Again, go watch that damn show. It's only 4 seasons, so it's not going to overwhelm your life.
Do we have any Beardo submitted sundries this week, Jay?
Yes, guys. We do have a little bit of Beardo content this week. It's been a little quieter on the socials than usual, but that's okay. We're fine. I did want to do a quick update. I, this week alone, have worked a little harder on products that people can buy. So that's kind of exciting. So far, I'm confident about shirts and window decals for your car. And I'm testing a new design on our shorts that won't peel when you wash them. And I thought I had hats down, but I can't tell if it's bad vinyl or if I just need different equipment for hats. So anyways, we're in the works. It's all in testing. I'm doing this all myself, so sorry, we're slow.
You'll want people to peel the shorts off of you, but we don't want the vinyl to peel off of the shorts.
Yeah, we want your sundries to stay on the shorts, but not in your pants. Our second content, and I actually just got this today before recording, so it was Primo Timing Anthony from San Antonio of Anthony and George. Our most loyal listeners, they let us know that the new house, because they just got their new house, is progressing really well, and that every day there's fewer and fewer boxes, so that's awesome. They said that they really appreciate our last 2 episodes because they've been more free and that it spurred some wonderful conversations in them and their relationship. And he's like, as we've become older, medical issues are starting to become more common, and climate conditions, all those things, all of these hazardous things are something they need to think about. So they're talking about upping their insurance.
Ooh, spicy.
They said they need to up their auto insurance and stop playing so much country music around here. Example, Shania Twain, Little Big Town, and Carrie Underwood. Lastly, they had an idea come to them the other night while they were at dinner. And they thought about having listeners send in funny pictures of themselves at different locations you guys come up with different puns, and call the segment Punny Photos. We have attached ours here, and needless to say, it was very hard to keep a straight face during the meal. Anyway, we'll let you guys go. So, I'll send you the picture, but they're standing in front of a restaurant that says, a dong.
Yes.
It's just a dong.
Well, how fitting that we're talking about foreign restaurants. Here's a photo of a couple of beardos in front of one. It's not a Mexican restaurant, but they are in front of a dong.
As always, thank you very much, George and Anthony, for submitting content to us, which, honestly, I loved your dong.
I love a dong.
Yeah, your dong was really nice. Thanks for sending that. And thanks for letting your dong be internet approved for our podcast. Anthony, do you have a game for us this week?
I sure do, Jay. And this is a game that I'm calling Order Up.
Well, the thing is I'm playing against Joe, so I know for a fact that I lost.
I don't think that's necessarily going to be true, although this is something he does know very well.
Oh, okay. Wow, thank you.
She's salty.
She is salty, just like the topic of this game. I am going to give you a signature menu item from a U.S. chain restaurant, and you have to name the restaurant.
Okay.
You each get 3 guesses for each item, and the first answer gets the point. Highest score gets to pick a chain restaurant for the other to order food from this weekend.
Oh.
I'll be kind, I promise.
Okay, let's start with an easy one. Cheddar Bay biscuits.
Red Lobster.
Red Lobster.
That was Joe for sure.
I think my audio's late.
Sure.
No, the ball was in my court because I did work there for 5 years.
Well, that was one that I was like, I know Joe worked there, but like, that's such an easy one.
I will also say that people look down on Red Lobster because it's kind of crap seafood. I learned a lot about seafood working there, so I will give them that much credit.
And I skip Red Lobster by just buying the boxed Cheddar Bay biscuits that you can use at home.
It's expensive nowadays. Their prices have gone way up.
Are you guys ready for number 2?
Yes.
Yes.
Neighborhood nachos.
Applebee's.
Applebee's?
Jay, for sure.
Bitch.
Hell yeah.
Ugh, I hate that we both knew that so quickly, though. Gross.
Oh, don't worry. You're going to feel real bad about yourselves by the time we're done with this.
It's because they played it on in neighborhoods, their like slogan, anything. So I'm like, that's obviously Applebee's.
Well, get ready for this signature menu item. The Triple Dipper.
Chili's.
Joe, for sure.
Yeah.
Southwest egg rolls, baby.
Hell yeah, I love Southwest egg rolls. Okay, what about Red's Double?
Oh, Red Robin.
Red Robin it is.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Because they have the Red's Tavern Double is the one I know.
I literally just talked about this place the other day because I drove by it and I haven't been to one in years.
Best sandwich on the menu is the Royal Red Robin, the one with the egg on it. Mm.
I always got the Royal Red Robin.
That's the one I wanted to include, but like, it's got the name in it, and you can't just put that in a game where you have to guess the name. I was like, the Royal Red Robin is like their signature menu item.
Oh, it's so good.
Love that one. And I love their steak fries when they were actually good.
Side note about their endless fries, if you're wanting to feel a little healthy-ish, you can also get unlimited broccoli.
Can you really?
Absolutely, you can.
I'll take more unlimited broccoli, please.
Bring me a gallon of Velveeta cheese sauce.
As I stuff my face in this giant Red Robin burrito. Or burrito burger.
Red's Tavern burrito.
Sorry. My brain's still on Mexican food.
Yeah, I thought we would make it to other cuisines, and that was what this game was designed around, so you guys are just going to have to live with it.
That's fine. There's no rules here. It's our podcast. Fuck them.
That's true. Number 5, the Tour of Italy.
Olive Garden.
Olive Garden.
That was Joe.
Oh.
Worked there for 2 years.
I swear mine's delayed because his name came through way later than me.
Okay, well, say hi right after I end the sentence.
Hi.
Oh, you get really close.
Really?
Yeah, really close.
That's funny. The whole time I thought there's a delay. I'm not fighting this at all. I just literally have thought there's a delay this whole time. And so I was like, wait.
I'll find out during recording, and if you're justified, then I will make...
I hope this proves you wrong.
Yeah, when I start editing this and I see that you're actually like way faster, then I will give it to you post-mortem.
Post-mortem? You'll text me and be like, guess what?
Yeah, when he's dead, I'll be like, you know what? He actually won at your funeral.
She ate.
But no, I'm not fighting this because I'm losing or anything. I promise. I just was like, wait a minute. I swore I said that faster.
Sure you did. But number 6, the Crunchwrap Supreme.
Taco Bell.
Taco Bell.
That was Joe as well. Jay doesn't look very happy with it.
I'm not delayed. So I'm wrong.
That's just what I'm hearing first. Oh my God.
Sorry, you only laugh 3 seconds after I make a joke. It's fine.
Oh my God. Well, then get ready for this one. The Bloomin' Onion.
Outback Steakhouse.
Yes.
Okay, well, that one was easy.
Yeah, that one's easy. My brain was like, I know the name of this, and I'm like, Olive Garden. I'm like, no, it's an O, but not that.
Okay, well, collect yourself, bitch, because we're moving on.
Well, I'm still losing already.
Yeah, well, collect your shit, because you could still win, technically.
Uh-huh.
The Cinnabon Cinnamon Swirl Cheesecake.
Cheesecake Factory. Cheesecake Factory.
I'm giving that one to Jay.
Finally.
Fine.
Because I didn't stumble through it, you stupid bitch.
Okay, what was your last answer? Olive Steakhouse? Outback Garden.
Outback Garden.
It's just desert.
This one is a little bit of a doozy. It is the Sunday Pot Roast Supper.
Cracker Barrel.
Cracker Barrel.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
For a brief moment, I was like, Golden Corral? And I'm like, nah, that's Cracker Barrel.
Okay. This is one of my personal favorites.
Thanks for giving that off.
Yeah, you're welcome. The Sweet Fire Chicken Breast.
Texas Roadhouse?
No. The Sweet Fire Chicken Breast.
Abuelos?
No.
Oh. I remember now that we have 3 guesses. Oops. I looked it up. Sorry.
You looked it up?
I forgot we had 3 guesses instead of 1.
Well, then I'm giving it to Jay.
Yeah, I give it to Jay.
Wait. I know that.
Take 2 more guesses, you win anyways, Jay.
Is it Panda Express?
It's Panda Express!
Ah! I just went there the other day and I'm like, I feel like I skimmed over that on their menu. Am I right?
I've never heard of it before.
If I wouldn't have went there the other day, I don't think I would have guessed that.
Okay. Number 11, the Big Borderito.
On the border?
I think it was.
In my year, I was first.
I'm really having a hard time with this because I actually believe you because I know you wouldn't lie about it. You're such a good sport.
Lie about what?
I really hope that when you go to recording, you're like, oh my god, Jay won almost every one of those. Wow. But it's fine. I don't mind losing. Because I'm a really good sport.
I'm going to give it to Joe because,
Yes.
I don't know, just because it sounded like he was first in my ears, and technology be damned.
Old man yells at cloud.
Okay. This is also another one of my favorite items. For number 12, the Bang Bang Shrimp.
Bonefish grill.
Yep.
Oh, I would have never guessed that.
I almost said fish daddies.
My brain went back to Panda Express, and I was like, no, that's definitely not it.
If y'all haven't been, you're seriously sleeping on Bonefish Grill. It is so good and so affordable.
And the Bang Bang Shrimp, order 27 orders of them because you'll want all of those.
If not, at least get the Bang Bang Shrimp tacos as your entree.
Okay. This is something I used to eat when I was a kid all the time. The Mexi Dips and Chips.
Is that Taco Bell? No. Is it Taco
You get
Bell?
2 more guesses. Taco Bueno.
Taco Bueno is right.
They've been slipping these past couple years.
Yes.
Oh, they're not good.
No. Oh, I used to love their big freaking quesadilla. So it was so good.
These last two are Oklahoma originating restaurants. So they were both founded in Oklahoma.
Okay.
So you get a hint based off of that. Neither of them are Casa Bonita.
Okay. That helps.
So hopefully you either know these already or you learned something today. Okay, number 14. The Crib Witch.
Rib crib.
Rib Crib. I know that it was Joe that time because I heard him from physically inside the house before I heard him through here.
I
Sorry,
cannot
Barry.
wait to show you my screen recording because I was like, I have to show you what it's doing for me.
Speaking of rib crib, one of my coworkers brought me the other half of her club sandwich from Rib Crib, and it was fucking amazing.
You know what they don't have on the menu anymore?
I've never been to one physically.
You've never been to a Rib Crib?
What?
I've never been inside a Rib Crib.
You've lived in Oklahoma how long now?
Yeah, I never went. I heard the one in Stillwater was shitty, so I never went to it.
Enid, Oklahoma was the best rib crib I ever experienced. It was always clean, always smelled like actual smoked meat, and tasted amazing. Always crowded, was a wait, delicious. Never been to a rib crib that matched it.
Okay, you guys ready for the last one?
Ready?
This one's a doozy.
A poopy?
Bag O Burgers.
Brahms.
That was Joe.
Joe.
I was like, come on.
Even on my end, it just popped out right before me.
Brahms.
So,
I thought you were going to do Sonic.
ostensibly, Joe won this one. I thought about doing Sonic, but there's not really like a good Sonic menu item that isn't just like supersonic something or other. And Bag of Burgers was kind of phoning it in too. So like,
It's a good one. Brahms Bag of Burgers.
so Joe wins until I go through and look at the recording and find out for sure. In which case, if he didn't win, Jay wins.
Yay! And then if I lost, boo! No, this sucks.
Joe gets to pick a chain restaurant for Jay to order from this weekend.
You want to keep talking shit?
I want a recount of votes.
What were the scores, Anthony? Just for fun. Just curious.
What did Jay win?
I'd love to know.
So the score was Joe 12, Jay 3.
Oh.
So weird that there's this little asterisk above it that says, except there was a delay in the audio. It's totally fine.
Yeah, so weird.
I will find out if it was that delayed because that's a pretty hefty difference, Jay.
Yeah, for me to lose that bad, I get it.
Oh, shut up. You always
Keep talking shit, bitch, because I was going to pick something good, and you're flirting real hard with Long John Silver's, okay? So why don't you change your tone?
You know, I haven't had Long John Silver's in forever, and that's not a bad idea. But to be fair,
Do you know where they are? I haven't seen one in a long time.
There is one 3 miles from my house, and it is a Long John Silver's and A&W.
Oh, then I might just have to have you order from both.
You're going to get cheese fries, but they're not going to be good because they're A&W cheese fries.
I'm going to be really honest.
With crunch fried fish.
Even with my silly argument about delayed audio, I'm pretty sure I lost that. So I'm not literally thinking I won the game.
I think what's really most terrifying about this, Jay, is that like if he gets to pick a chain restaurant for you to eat from this weekend, you're going to be traveling this weekend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I'll eat it Monday because I took off work Monday.
No.
Listen, bitch, I know some chains in Denver.
Unless you pick something that just happens to be in the Denver airport.
Sorry, these are the rules of the podcast. You got to eat this chain restaurant.
I'll definitely follow them.
You got to make a TikTok about it.
Well, Beardos, the music's coming back on, and it's time for us to go. But go call our hotline real quick and leave a voicemail to open the next episode with. That number is 405-999-2242.
Oh.
For every white person out there, it's 405-999-2242.
And just like a freshly filled basket of warm, unsalted tortilla chips, we are filled with warm love from all of you. If you want to help us out, go and subscribe to our podcast so you can get reminders every Sunday when we release a new episode. We also post frequent updates on all of our social medias for any additional sundries that we add to the market shelves.
And don't forget to go rate us 5 stars and leave a review. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to hear from you. And those ratings are what get us found by more amigos. We'd be honored if you could help us grow by doing that simple task, and just each one of you telling one friend to listen will double our growth.
And all of our social medias are muy caliente. And you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok.
That's Italian.
That's Italian. Cancelled. All right, Tony Lodge, calm down over there. Audio queen.
Oh my god. So go on any of those sites and give us 5 stars, comment, make suggestions, give us game ideas. We want to hear from all of you. You can also email us at beardsandsundries@gmail.com. We respond as quick as possible, so please, we want to hear from you.
So, from all of us here at the Beards and Sundries Market, make sure to
love yourself because we love you. Buenas noches!
Chiste grande!